I don't think that it was God's will for your life for you to end up in whatever tragic situation you may be currently living in. So maybe if you did pray and you did actually have a relationship with him, maybe then God's will would have been done in your life. But since you don't, that's why you're in the situation that you're in.
So if I thought something good was going on, it was God. If I thought something bad was going on, oh, the devil tempted me. At no point do you ever realize that some of the things that you go through is literally your own doing. This has nothing to do with God. This has nothing to do with the devil. This is literally you answering to your own flesh.
Even though it wasn't what was technically best for me, God pulled me out of it. And not only did he pull me out of it, he helped me grow within it. So I'm literally like, there is no way that all this has happened to me and God is not going to bring me out of it. Yes, could have been avoided had I not put myself in the situation before. Yes, but God is a loving God who's going to help us regardless. Thank you, Jesus.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, y'all.
Hey, hey, hey.
And we back. 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 I ain't forget that time. We are back with another episode of the You're Done podcast. It's your girl, Big Desto, not the little one.
And be more, never less.
And we back. I told you I would look better this week than last week.
I know she even got on pants, y'all. Usually y'all don't know what's underneath that blanket. But my
Right?
girl got on the top and bottom.
I even got fancy with the glasses. I might have to take them off because this glare is really irritating me. But we back, y'all. And I ain't gonna lie. I'm feeling a lot better today. Not because I cried yesterday, but I actually slept through the whole night last night. And that does not happen often. You know, you know.
It's just
Right, but I'm feeling pretty good. And I think the conversation that we have for today is also pretty good. We kind of just it's like it was like in the notes, but it wasn't at the same time. Either way,
yeah.
it made me think of something that I saw on Facebook. And I'll let y'all know what the topic is before I tell you what I saw on Facebook. I don't know if I should even share what I saw on Facebook, but I'm probably gonna do it anyway. Because I do
She
what I
gonna do it
want.
anyway.
Okay. But yeah, the topic is like your plans for and God's glory working together in a sense of like not all the time does your plans always align with what God has for you. Sometimes you do try to take it into your own hands and being like, oh, if I just do this, like it won't be that bad. Or, I could just do
Yeah.
this one time. And this God's just like, I didn't call you to do none of that. But since you did it, now I gotta work around with you, you know. So I feel
Yes.
like I found myself in that situation many times. And Brittany, because at first Brittany was like, I don't think no, what was the topic at first? It was like,
The topic at first was kind of like letting the bad things happen. And I was like, I don't think I do that because your girl be out here playing. As soon as I think something about to go left, I be like, ain't going, ain't doing it. Count me out, fixing it now.
whereas for me, but I think maybe what got you was not all the time do you think what you're doing is bad. Maybe in hindsight, when you look back, you'll be
Yeah,
like, I guess I could have went about that a different way. Cause I feel like the things that I was doing, not all of the time did I feel like, oh, this is a bad decision. I'm just going to do it anyway. I
yeah,
didn't feel like that. But when it all played out, it was a horrible decision. And I'm like, but
yeah.
God still, carried me through that, even though it was like, okay, I told this little girl not to do that. She did it
And here
anyways.
we are.
Yeah. So, I saw this one post on Facebook, and like last week or whatever week that was, I felt like I got a little bit off topic. So tell me if this correlates, because I thought about it when we said the topic, because sometimes I be all over the place. So it was like somebody made a post and said, why do we pray if it's gonna be God's will anyways? Like what's the point or whatever you
Yeah,
get what I'm saying? Like, what's the point of praying if it's gonna be God's will anyways? And I was just like,
yeah.
I wanted to respond, but I have this thing that I struggle with where it's like, I wanna respond in a way that obviously they'll receive it, and I just feel like
Yeah.
whatever I had typed, I'm like, "This person's" I'm not trying to really go back and forth either. Not to say, like, you just need to listen to whatever I say, but I feel like I'm learning to speak on certain things that people may or may not agree with, if that makes sense. And so when they said
Yeah.
it, I'm just like and then, of course, somebody else was in the comments talking about "Exactly," and I'm like, y'all, there's plenty people in the world. It's plenty of people in the world that do certain things, right? And it's like, if it's God's will, why do I need to do X, Y, and Z anyways? I don't think that it was God's will for your life for you to end up in whatever tragic situation you may be currently living in. So maybe if you did pray and you did actually have a relationship with him, maybe then God's will would have been done in your life. But since you don't, that's why you're in the situation that you're in. That's what I wanted to say. But Grant, Imma tell
Yeah.
Brittany who said I don't know if you know who posted this. You know them very well. I don't know if you saw the post though, but I'll tell you off the camera. But
No, I
it
do
was
not
like
get on Facebook like that.
yeah, me either, but when I did that day, I said, "Oh, see, this is why." And I got off 'cause
Facebook too much for me, I ain't gonna lie.
and I
I
just feel like
can't get
some
with
yeah, Facebook is a lot. I just feel like some people constantly find different ways to, like, go against the grain, if that makes sense. Like, or and it's just I don't know, and with that post just it just made me feel like what? What are you even talking about? That's how I felt. And so with
Yeah.
the topic, I just feel like had I not had a relationship with God, had I like when I was out here making these decisions, whether I felt like they were bad or not, if I didn't have that relationship with God, how would I have been redirected to what it is that He did have for me, His plan and His will for
Yeah.
me from the beginning? If I didn't have that relationship, so I feel like it always starts with you. God is always going to be there, but you have to do your part. So in my instance, it was like I don't know if I talked about this on the podcast, but I had moved to North Carolina. I was gonna say for the first time, like I done moved there many times, but I moved out of the state for like a long period of time for the first time. Wasn't my first time moving out the state, but you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying. So I moved, and but even before I moved, I felt like well, I asked my daddy, and I said, "Do you?" I'm not gonna go into details, but I asked my daddy, do you think God is going to be mad at me if I go here due to the circumstances
Mhm.
under which I was going? You catch my drift?
Yes.
And
Yes, ma'am.
so daddy was like, like, I don't think daddy knew that to the extent of how I didn't always truly just say explicitly what it was that I'm like questioning, but it was kind of like
Yeah.
a, do you think I'm making a bad mistake? I mean, bad decision. But as a parent, daddy was also like, this is something you probably have to go through to learn and grow. I don't know, but my daddy didn't just
Yeah.
say, "You shouldn't go," you know? And
Yeah.
it's crazy because in hindsight, I had this conversation with mama when I done years later, I done moved back to Texas and all the things. So many things has happened in between then. And she goes, after I left, that left Texas, she tells me that she looked at daddy and said, why did we let her do that? And I'm looking at her like, well, why did you let me do that? But just like with God, like these are my earthly parents, obviously, but God is my heavenly father. So it's like sometimes you have to allow your child to see things for themselves. So I moved, I did all these things, and I'm like, it can't be that bad, and it's
Yeah.
just God was just like, oh yeah, I can show you how bad it can be. And
Right?
child, it was pretty bad, and but out of that, what I gained so much more out of that. So even though I made my decisions and I did whatever it is that I felt like I wanted to do in that moment, even though it wasn't what was technically best for me, God pulled me out of it, and not only did He pull me out of it, He helped me grow within it. So that's kind of
Yeah.
like you get what I'm saying here. So yeah,
Yeah. I have a
yeah,
I don't wanna say I have a different take, but I think when you're first starting your relationship with God, it tends to be that way. Cause I know I used to ask, like, "Stop giving me parables." Like, if you know I'm not gonna think that way, like, just give it to me straight. Like, why I gotta why
yeah,
I do all this extra? That was me in the beginning stages, and then I had and again, I had a lot of questions, like if God already know what's gonna happen, like, why would he want us to go through bad things? If he knew that was gonna eat the fruit, like, why you just leave
Yeah.
us out here? You know what I'm saying? Just let me into heaven at the end of the day. It's already cray cray down here. So, but I think the more and then everything was like good and bad, right? So if I thought something good was going on, it was God. If I thought something bad was going on, oh, the devil tempted me. At no point do you ever realize that some of the things that you go through is literally your own doing. This has nothing to do with God. This has nothing to do with the devil. This is literally you answering to your own flesh and saying, "Hey, yeah, I feel like I'm gonna do exactly that." And sometimes we know not to, and then we still do it. You
Right.
get an intuition not to, and then you still do it, but you be like, "But I was being called." No, you technically was not being
Right.
called. You just decided you was gonna do it. So I think the more you get into your relationship with God, you can start to put yourself into conversations with yourself that goes, "Okay, God, help redirect me because I know I've come off your path, not redirect me because the devil tempted me and then I did this and I need to repent and I need to come back to you and I know you're gonna get me straight."
Right.
Because if that's the case, then he wouldn't say you are born a sinner. You're literally coming out the womb, not even knowing your dang name. But for one thing we know for sure is you a sinner. And you ain't even done
Right.
nothing yet. But to breathe air for the first time.
But
So
you will.
right. So I think we have to sometimes realize that some things are of our own doing. And I think this is me, and I'm not like a Bible thumper. I haven't read the Bible from beginning to end, all that kind of stuff. But I think we also have to just realize that when you're talking about God's will, He knows that at some point you're going to answer to your own flesh. He knows that, yeah, maybe you are tempted by, the devil or, a bad thought or whatever the case may be, but he's going to work it out in your favor. He already
Right.
knows that you need to come off the path. You already about to do something that ain't right. And
Mhm.
sometimes we also have to realize that the crap that we go through is not supposed to end up being a benefit for us, but it could end up being a benefit to someone else. And I think that becomes a hard thing to realize too. Like, in my opinion, does it suck that my parents had to live the life that they live? Yes, but I reap the benefits of them, unfortunately, going through the chaos, and
Mhm.
then God already setting it in them to say, "You're not gonna do the same with your kids." And look at how Destiny and I are, and then how we're raising our kids. And so now my parents actually get to see the things that they sowed, grow into how we are and how the generation from them are going to go forward. Not saying we
Mhm.
just gonna be out here being great, but we are gonna be great. But we're gonna go through things and we can handle it much better than how people have handled it in the past. So
Right.
I think you have to look at it that way as well. But yeah, you're gonna I've made some I have made some questionable decisions, but
See?
you couldn't tell me at the time that they was wrong.
Exactly.
I was like, "I just know this where I'm supposed to be." But,
Because I feel like even when you're making those decisions, a lot of the times, like, I was way younger then, right? So
Mhm.
I'm not making the decision based on, "Oh," and not to say just because 'cause you're young. I mean, well, maybe because, when you're young, when you know better, you do better, right? I ain't know no better, so
Yeah.
I had to learn through it. So it wasn't like, "Oh, I'm making this decision solely based on, God, is this it?" It was literally me basing it off of what I felt like I wanted. It had nothing to
Yeah.
do with what I felt like God had planned for me. It had nothing to do with God's will or nothing like that. It was literally like, what does Destiny want right now? Despite
Yeah.
where this may lead Destiny in the future, which child, look, it didn't then lead to the light, I can tell you that. Well, eventually it did. But I'm saying I was gonna point out even in the midst of that, okay, I made the bad decision, right? I decided to move. I decided to do whatever I wanted to do despite the fact that God had already brought me out of this situation before. Here I go doing it again, right? Sorry,
Yeah.
God, I did it. So it happened. Everything hit the fan, right? But once again,
Mhm.
like I've said before, I had a relationship with God. I've always had a relationship with God. But like Brittany said, you grow stronger and stronger, right? So in the beginning, I'm, I pray, I do the regular, quote unquote, regular things. But as I continue to go along this journey, I'm like, okay, now I'm really starting to see, I kind of really messed up pretty bad, didn't I, God? And so,
Yeah.
like, okay, I need you now. Like, my plan, you was right. And so, I started to really dive deeper into this, my relationship with God, and with that, I learned so much more about myself. I learned so much more about him. I learned how to trust him more. That was even in that season. I spoke about this too when a friend asked me, like, your life has literally just been turned upside down, y'all. I moved out of the state, all the things, had to move out. That was the first time I lived on my own, out of the state, alone. And then now I lost my job and all the things. Any other normal person would have been like, uh, or losing their And so for me, it was
Yeah.
kinda just like I'm learning and I'm growing, so I'm literally like, "There's no way that all this has happened to me and God is not gonna bring me out of it." Yes, could have been avoided had I not put myself in a situation before. Yes, but God is a loving God who's gonna help us regardless. Thank you, Jesus, because I know if I did not have that relationship with him, I could have just been like, giving up on myself. Who knows what I would have done? But I turned to God in those moments. But but look, despite my bad decisions, is my point. He continuously carried me anyways. Like
Yeah.
I never went without. I had a roof over my head. I had food. I had money coming in. I wasn't as much as I wanted it to be, but it was enough for my daily bread, all right? I had enough. I had just what I needed, is my point. And so a lot of the
Yeah.
times, even in the midst of that, y'all, and then I did something else that was stupid. Y'all, I'm telling you, God, when I tell you Jesus and that sandal in my neck have been locked in for a very long time. Not since season one, but since long time. This is back in 2020, okay?
That's
All
a
this happened.
strong sandal.
Girl, if they help Jesus they say Jesus walked how many miles? They compared it from the East Coast to the West Coast of the United States in some sandals, so I know that's a strong sandal. That sandal in my neck, bro. But I did all that, right? I made the bad decision. I went back to God. God carried me through that bad decision. Guess what I did? I went and made another stupid decision. I went and made another dumb decision. And the thing is, y'all, a lot of the dumb decisions that I've made in my life, they kind of all they all kind of the same. Like they
Yeah.
all like look, child, if you know, you know. I'm not finna But I made another dumb decision. Let me just say that. And that dumb decision led me back to Texas. 'Cause I said, all right, look, I don't know what I'm doing. I need to start over. I need to go back to where I came from and just start over. Go back to go on the Monopoly board.
But
'Cause
I
this
I
is not working.
also I'm also a firm believer that regardless of what you've gone through, and again, I haven't been through like I've been through things, but of course we can always be like, somebody had been raped. Like that's a lot of I've never been through like that type of trauma. So I can only imagine how much harder it is to trust God when you're like, I was a kid, I did nothing, and then this person made a decision and this happened to me, right? And I get that. But I think at some point as you're getting older or even as a kid, because some kids are very much so into the Bible and they love church music. And I think my kids do and I love that. God wants a relationship with all of us. And I think for me, on one hand, I don't think I've been through certain situations as Destiny has, but I feel like I've gotten to certain points because I am so, like, anal about having a plan and make things have to make sense, and I have to be able to take care of myself, and I will rearrange to get whatever it is that I feel like that needs to happen is going to happen without me calling anybody to make that happen, if that makes sense. So, I feel like at some points in my life, because God wanted me to draw me closer to him, much closer than what I was, that he strips you of a lot of things that you feel like you need, because at some point you gotta realize that there is no other source greater than him. Like, and I realized
Mhm.
that once I was in the gym and I couldn't do my little bicep curls, and I just started crying and got down on my knees like, "Yeah, I'm in the gym." Like, out of all the places that like, we couldn't have done this at the crib. I was just there contemplating coming to the gym. You wait till I get to the gym, and now
In
you wanna
public.
come down and talk to your girl
Right.
about all the BS? Crazy. But I think because I wasn't at home and it's odd to be at the gym to do something like that, like, it sticks with me. So now when I realize, and which we talked about this before, y'all know, being pregnant, Destiny and I have not been in this relaxed stage, but we're trying to get there. But every day it does remind me, like, you gotta know who your source is. Your husband cannot help you. This doctor cannot help you. Your parents cannot do this. You can plan and plan and plan and plan, and at the end of the day, if God say, "Mm, that's what we're doing," that's just what facts. This is what's about to happen. So I think you gotta realize that, yeah, you could be going through dumb stuff. Yes, you could be making dumb decisions, but slow down enough to realize like who your source is, because you could be going through the worst of the worst and he still can pull you out. And I think when we're going through the worst, we really don't believe that he can hear us. Cause why would you even bring me this far out? Like, you know, I can't swim. So why I'm having dreams about being by the ocean?
Right. Look.
So I just try to slow myself down sometimes and also realize like where I am in that particular time and
Mhm.
what is it that he's trying to get me to do, because you do get glimpses of things of like, hey, I shouldn't do, or I could move this way and maybe you just shouldn't do that right now. But because we get so caught up in like our age or where we should be or what should have happened, or if I did this, instead of just saying, let me go read. I'm just gonna read my Bible today and go take a walk. I'm gonna read my Bible today and then I'm gonna go to work. I'm not to let these people at this job piss me off today. I'm gonna drink
Mm.
this CBD tea, pray for you
Yeah.
and for me. I didn't say smoke weed. I said CBD, no THC. Just something to mellow you out. For those who be out here like, yeah, Brittany said, you do a little
Brittany,
drugs
get
and you go
out.
to work.
She did
I
not
did
say
not say
that.
no, water in your tumbler, in your Stanley. Don't go up there with no vodka or tequila. That's not what I said. But,
Right.
to do whatever it is that you need to do to relax yourself, listen to calming music on your way. Frequencies is a big thing. So listening to things like that is very helpful for me in the morning instead of waking up feeling like I have a to-do list. So I like to do things that will help try to keep me calm before my nervous system feels like we need to run around and do all the things. I'm already in panic mode and don't even know it. So
Right.
slow yourself down. Know that he still is your source, even through your worst times. If he's going to be your source in your great times, you definitely want him in the bad times.
Right.
Mm, That's when I need to hear you most. Cause how we gonna get off this ship, God?
Right. I
I'm
would.
ready to jump. I think I'm getting pushed off, but
I might need a floaty.
I'm at, no, for real.
But that's a good point though, because it's just like despite that's the whole point of the video, I feel like. Despite the decisions that you may make, good or bad, whatever the case is, at the end of the day, like Brittany said, he is your source. No matter
Yeah.
what you decided that you wanted to do, no matter what you thought that was right, whatever the case may be. At the end of the day, whether your life is so great or your life is so bad, at the end of the day, he's the only thing that you out of that.
Yeah.
Because even like when they say, and I remember you saying something like, in the beginning stages of your walk, you're constantly questioning, like, well, if you knew all these bad things was gonna happen, like, but that's the point of the God that we serve. He give you an option. He don't force you to do it. Hey,
Yeah.
just like my parents. They didn't force me to do anything, but they did say, if you do this, which is the bad thing, this is what's going to happen. And I'm not always going to be there to pull you out of it. You have to turn away from the bad things in order to get to the good things. So instead of saying, what's the point of praying if it's going to be God's will anyway? Yeah, but every day you wake up and do something that go against God, why are you thinking his will is finna be done? I'm not understanding. That's not how that works. You have to be along the right path. You cannot be out here doing what you wanna do and being like, "But God's will's gonna happen."
Yeah.
Uh,
And
it yeah,
God will remove himself from you if that's how
yeah.
you are. What's the dang it,
Uh-oh.
Pharaoh when he kept
The
saying he was gonna
plagues.
release the people, and then
Mhm.
every day something was happening, he would still be like, "Oh," and then it was the what he called it, girl, I
But
got to
Brittany, even in the midst of him saying, "Hey, go," what's his name will go tell them, Moses to tell them, "This and this and this is gonna happen." And Pharaoh's like, "Yeah, whatever." But as soon as the
yeah,
bad thing happened, every single time Pharaoh's like, "Okay, go tell God we said we were sorry." Every single
yeah,
time. That's what I'm saying.
every single
You
time.
thinking you you thinking you got the big man, big dog. Oh, that ain't gonna hurt me. This my plan. I'm doing what I want to do. And every time it fails, God, he's like, okay, God, because he know that God is the only one that can fix it. So
Yeah,
you
and he
sitting there
kept
going
hardening his heart. That's what it
every
was.
time.
He kept hardening Pharaoh's heart. So the whole point is like even when Destiny was talking, it was like, so you felt or you heard or you knew like this may be a bad decision, right? Which I
Mhm.
feel like that may be God telling you, like, hey, let's take a step back. Maybe this isn't the right time,
Definitely
or whatever
was.
the case may be, but you still go forth with it anyways. And at some point, when you refuse to listen to him, he will go ahead and harden your heart for the again, if he can give you the things of which you desire of your heart, and your heart is saying, we ain't, I ain't gotta, cause this is this, then
Mm,
like, why do I need to keep coming down to keep telling you not to? Clearly, I keep sending Moses to tell him what the heck is about to happen to you, and you keep saying you're gonna do one thing and then you don't. So now we gotta go out here and let your people
exactly.
know they about to
Now I gotta show you why they call me Big God, not the little one. Just got to.
that part. And I don't even know why y'all be playing with this man.
Girl, because I'm
Meantime, as
telling
he
you,
said he should let him go,
girl, this
out of
man
here.
flooded though. He got so mad with us. He flooded the whole earth. Said, just get rid of everybody. I am
That
sick of
part.
them. We just gonna try this again.
At no point before Jesus did God wasn't the type of God to be like, do it again. You know how you do your kids? Do it again. Do it one more time because they already done did it. Now you telling them to do it. God was like, I told you. Nope, didn't do it
Exactly.
right.
Burn the city to the ground.
Didn't I tell you not to look back?
God is the original. You're done. The
No
OG.
second chances was given. You think I be cutting people off? This man,
he did. He did not tell you not to turn around. It's crazy because
now
it's so
look at you.
true.
Now look at you.
I'm crying. She's still there to this day.
Today, just out here, and you could have been living your best life. Could have learned more about you, but you ain't want to listen. He said, when he say don't do it, that's what he mean. Now, when Jesus got here,
Thank
Jesus is
God
the
for
only
Jesus.
reason you get that. All right, I'm gonna tell you one more time.
Right,
But before Jesus, baby, if I only knew God and didn't know,
girl.
I'm
Because
not playing
even
with this man.
I told y'all, I don't know if it was last week or the week before that, but I told y'all I've been reading the book of Jeremiah, right? In the book of Jeremiah, I don't think it's written chronologically, like in order. Girl, I had to Google it because I'm like, didn't you just, anyway, go read it for yourself. So I was reading and I'm at the end. I got 2 more chapters of y'all. And so from chapter 1 to like 30 something, it's like 52 chapters in this book. It's like God going back and forth with like I'm telling them that they're gonna do if they do they have idols, all the things, they're doing all the things that they want to
Yeah,
do. And God is like, okay, I done told you, right? So this is chapters and chapters of this. And God is continuously just like, I know what you got going. And it's not just one little group of people. It's like, girl, at the end, my point is at the end, the last few chapters is literally God just placing judgment on everybody. God said, didn't I tell y'all? I wasn't playing. I told y'all not to do that. God is pulling up everybody, destroying all the cities, and holding nobody captive. He said everybody must go. I'm sick
Wipe
of
'em
y'all.
out.
I done tried to tell y'all, and y'all didn't want to listen. Now I gotta show you better than I can tell you. And I'm just reading, and I'm just like, dang, he wasn't playing.
They say
Like
he is a jealous God. He meant that.
in the girl, in that chapter, I think I saw the word hate like 2 or 3 times. Like God literally said, doing stuff that I hate. And I'm like, and they hate is a strong word. You know what they say about that word? God said it. God said, I am sick of y'all. I told y'all to stop doing that stuff. Why are you worshiping other idols? Why are you feeling like you can do whatever you want to do? Why are you making your own plans without considering me, Destiny? Look, God, I don't know. I don't do that no more.
She better
But
be glad she here post Jesus.
he
'Cause
said,
she would have been out of there.
shut up. But yes, it's literally just like consistently like now I find myself in stages where it's like, even if like I said last week, even when I want to complain, I feel like I have no reason to. So it's just like
Yeah,
you have to consider God in everything that you do, the good, the bad, the whatever. You have to pray. You have to have a prayer. Like prayer, people like doubt how strong prayer is. Like, hello, but as much as you're praying and as much as you're planning, always find that time to listen to what you have to, this can't be no one-sided conversation. You can't just be like,
yeah,
all right, God, I want this and this and that. Cause he gon' look. And the thing is, when he give it to you, it may not look exactly how you want it to look. Girl, one day at work, a lot of the times I find myself praying for patience. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. One day I went to work and I was not in the mood. I said, God, before I went in, I pray before I go in because I got to. And I said, I was finna ask for patience, and I said, God, I'm not gonna lie. I'm not even gonna ask for that today, because when God is, don't just make you patient. He give you something that forces you to be patient. I said, I don't even want to be tested like that today. I didn't have the strength to do it. I had to just be honest with God. I'm not. Let me stop asking for that because He
I
is.
ain't
He
got it.
said, you want patience? Them kids come in there crazy I'm like, the patience go out the window every single time. And so I just have to learn how to be honest with the things that I'm asking for and wait for him to guide me. You can't just say, "Oh, this is what I want," and go do it. You can't just say, "Oh, I prayed for it and it's just gonna Yes, God is a miracle worker. He can do whatever you ask him to do, but it doesn't mean it's gonna happen how you want it to happen, when you want it to happen. You know, you have to trust the process. So your
Yes,
plan, but his glory at the end of the day. God gonna do what he wanna do at the end of the day. And you
that
just
part.
need to fall in line.
No,
Okay?
for real.
So,
My biggest thing is to stop matching energy. I had to
yes,
learn to
don't
stop doing
girl, you
it.
and me both.
'Cause I be
'Cause
like,
I
"Oh,"
do I do it with my students
'cause I
sometimes. They be girl,
Cause
they in
I be
there
like,
six,
you don't
7.
understand that I'm being nice."
Girl, they be getting on my nerves with that 6 I be like, "You got a 6'7" in my class. Now go sit down when you get on my nerves. I gotta
He
stop
matching
doing that.
energy with the kids of the future. Yeah.
Girl, they don't know when to sit down.
Oh, Lord.
Okay. So, yeah, love me though. Okay. All my students love me,
That's
okay?
Yes, it's a
Not all
big
of them.
thing, and I think also with, like, what's on in the world today, I have a hard time with continuously telling myself, like, not everything needs to be said, but
Mhm.
yeah, yesterday I went to Baybrook with Bree, and we were walking through we were trying to enter the mall, and then we were about to hit this corner. And it was a group of kids, and I understand it's the mall, kids are gonna be everywhere. That was not the problem. They was off to the side, we was still gonna be able to move over. It's a tiny space, but either way, we would have enough room to walk over. And there was a girl, a little bit ahead of them, and she turns around. Now she was near the wall, which we had moved over from the wall because the kids is on this side, right? And I'm behind Bree. So she turns around. Now I know she see us because I see her behind, and I'm behind Breon's.
Mhm.
So she moves in and she starts walking towards us. Now I'm thinking, well, clearly she fit to like, move over with her friends, right?
Right.
Homegirl stands right in front of Bree. Now, at this point, Bree is quickly trying to move back over to the side to avoid hitting her, and I hear him say, "Excuse me," because they literally about to shoulder check each other. Now, I'm behind him, so by the time I see her, I'm like, "Which way you wanna go?" Like, that's what I say. We talk about not matching energy, and this is where I'm about to stop, okay? This is what Imma be done with. Because we're still walking, and all I hear is one and I don't even think it's the girl that was in the way. It was another little girl, and she goes, "What she say? I heard attitude. I heard, oh, you think you can't get checked today." And before I knew it, I turned like, I'm still walking in the opposite direction, but I literally turn around. I make eye contact with her, and I said, "Which way you wanna go?" And
Right.
and now Breon's talking about, "Now, these hormones got you acting crazy."
'Cause I
'Cause now I
said what I said.
got somebody hit my pregnant wife, now I gotta hit them back and
Right.
keep it together
Like,
now.
you need to be quiet.
So
You just need to be quiet.
I was like, I gotta start reading my Bible again, and I gotta get back in it because when I tell you, and my whole
You
response
say that a
to
lot.
Bree before I apologized was like, "Nah, because these kids is out of hand. People think they can say what they want. The privilege is getting to me. Cause what?"
Right.
I said, "Nah, they get to tell their kids like this is their world. They get to do X, Y, and Z, and then we gotta sit and help our kids navigate their privilege. Bull crap, get the out the way." And then Bree was like, "You can't do that." And then I said, "You know what?
Yeah.
You're right. I
Okay,
apologize.
she's
I won't do
done.
it no more."
She done,
It was
y'all.
a lot. But when I say I was hot,
You still are.
but I
I
ain't
was
gonna do
like,
it no more. Yeah, I'm not gonna be taken out of character like that no more. But it was an eye opening
okay.
situation. Cause like you say, these are the things you prayed. Like, okay, I don't want to cuss, but then stuff like that happen. I'd be like, what the, like, why?
Mhm.
Let me stop
And
asking
in
for
that
stuff. Let me
moment, you
just say,
need
let me be a good person. Cause I
and in
can't
that moment, that's when you need to zip it. Just shut
muzzle.
up. Exactly. Be quiet.
So
So,
I'm gonna let
yeah,
y'all
I
know
grew up
if another situation occurs and what happened with this this tongue of mine. But I'm gonna try to hold it.
and we had an episode about that, I think.
We did.
Y'all, she just be lying. She
Ah,
be
it
lying.
wasn't a good moment for me, okay? That wasn't a good moment for me. But I've recognized it. I mean, I didn't apologize to the kids, but I did apologize to Bree, and I was like, "Okay, I get your point. I'm not gonna do." Because now I'm ready to be a rebel to everybody. But you
Yeah,
ain't
don't
gonna
do
do.
that. Don't do that.
I told my friend, and she was like, "Girl, you becoming more and more like your mama."
The, 90s version,
The
early
90s stars, and
2000s.
I was like, "I know, girl. Pray for me. I can't be going backwards. I gotta stay where she at.
And here
We're
they
on a good
thought
trajectory right
and here they thought she was the quiet one and I was the loud one. It's her. And I'm chilling. I don't want no problems. And not to
now." And
say,
I'd be like,
I be having my moments. Cause girl, literally yesterday, while I'm sitting here talking about it's her,
"Oh,
I
hold
had
on,
my
pause
moment.
though, because she just wait, because she literally just laughed at me and was like, look at her." And now she did something yesterday. Yeah, let the people know this is an honest podcast.
Girl,
Let the people know what you done did.
yesterday, granted, these people didn't hear me. Me and Corey on FaceTime, and he walks into a room and he goes, "Hey y'all," he go, "Hey, how everybody doing?" or whatever. Nobody say nothing. So I'm on the phone and I go, "My man said, how y'all doing?" But as soon as I said that, his phone said, "Connection unstable." So when he came back on the phone, I said, "Did you hear what I said?" And he was like, "No." So I told him. And then he walks back into the room because he got to go back through that way to go wherever he's going. And he don't say nothing, but they say, "Oh, hey, Corey." And he goes, "Oh, hey, good morning." He goes, "See, babe, they just didn't hear me." And I'm like, mm. I'm all on the
Her
phone.
spirit was already in the room.
But it's crazy. As soon as I said that, his signal went bad. And that's God
That's
saying,
what shoulda
"Shut
happened
up."
to me.
God
I
said,
shoulda
"Don't
had a
even."
cough in between that or something. Yeah. I
But
probably
yes,
still would've went, "I said."
right. Let me get myself together. Imma tell you what I said. But yeah,
Oh, Lord.
so the point of this
Gots to be
podcast, let's
better.
get back on track.
Yes,
Um,
Lord.
is it time to say what we done with? Yeah.
Almost, but yeah, be
Mm,
careful in what you pray for because he will give you the task to be able to work through whatever it is that you're saying. I do firmly believe that. If you going through hard times or you making a decision and you not quite sure if it's him or you talking to yourself, as you move, still pray over yourself and ask him for his guidance. Because even if you've already made the decision, he can still help guide you,
right,
into something else. So, I think the biggest thing is not making a decision and then forgetting to continuously pray over that decision. I think we make decisions and be like, "God said," so then you go weeks without talking to him. That makes no sense. Because 'Cause you'll talk
right,
to you if you made a decision and told your mama, you calling your mama every day to give her an update. But
right,
the main person that can help you, you be like, "Well, I already talked to him.
right. And he's like,
We'll
"I ain't heard
see."
from you in a
I
week."
holler at him when the first bad thing happens.
And that's not how that
And you
works.
can't do that.
And I wanted to point
No.
out, even when you find yourself in that season of your plans failing and they are going wrong, there's so many good things that can happen during the season of bad things happening as well. So like even
Yeah.
though I made that decision to go and do what I felt like I wanted to do in that moment, so many great things came out of it. I learned how to stand on my own 2 feet. I grew in my faith with Jesus, with God. I found a lifelong friend who's also a woman of God. I learned how to stand up for myself and not let people treat me any kind of way. That look, so many things came up out of that season. Okay. Hmm. Thanks. Shout out to
And
God because he turned my bad decision around, and instead of just like fixing it automatically, he taught me things throughout the process. I came out on the other side
yeah,
of it better, yes, but he had to prune certain things out of me before I was able to before he was able to bless me with what he had on the other side of it. So you have to sometimes just go through whatever it is. It's not always gonna be
yeah.
sunshine rainbows, okay? Like, yeah, he gonna grab you by the hand and say, "Come on," and you just better keep moving, cause he ain't gonna stop. Okay?
And giving her flowers because part of that situation was dealing with someone else. And I do feel like when you ran into that person again, like, you handled yourself very well. It was like I felt like the way you handled it kinda put them more in a bind and feeling some type of way than it did you. Like, it didn't ruin your trip. Like, it probably
Yeah.
ruined, like, that particular moment of them saying something like, "Why are you even talking to me?" But I feel like
Yeah.
overall and how you would have handled it in the past, and it would have been like, "I'm ready to come home. This is stupid." I'm
Mm.
finna cuss him out, say what I need to say, or whatever the case may be. Like, you were very good with making your points, but not over explaining and being able
Mhm.
to remove yourself from the situation, but still enjoy yourself, and continue to be who you are. And so flowers
Thank
given
you.
to you. So it does help because I'm not saying my girl was bad at all,
I
but
would.
I can tell, like, the way of which she has come, cause she was very quiet. Y'all think I'm the quiet one and she's not, but she was the one to be like, "I ain't have nothing to say," and I'd be like, I could think of, like, 8 things right now we coulda said. You wanna go back? We can go back."
Exactly. But the thing is, like, with me, it's no gray area. It's either I got something to say and I won't shut up, or I didn't care enough. I'm not going back and forth with them. It's like, no, you
Yeah.
should have said something. Brittany, she always
No,
got
you
something.
said that was the time. There's always a time, 'cause what's that emoji?
I don't be wanting no problems, y'all. But I did have to learn. If you don't stand up for yourself, they gonna keep trying you. I had to let them know I wasn't that desperate
Yeah,
from a
but
few
that don't
years
mean you
ago.
have to go ghetto on them.
Right,
Cause we be
right.
ready to I be ready to cut, I could hit you where it
I
hurt.
would cut,
It may not even been that serious. Why she say that? Because that's how I felt. Say something
Yeah.
else. But so now that I
Ooh,
see her do it and how it makes her feel, I'm learning to be like, well, yesterday was not a good example, but I'm learning to kind of like learn to control my tongue where it needs to be controlled, or at least just look at people and be like, okay, which I have done with one person. I definitely had a lot to
one
say, and then
person.
I have not said it, and I haven't said anything, and
That's
I'm very
good for
proud of
you.
myself.
You're doing
I
great,
know.
sweetie.
It was eating me up at first because I was when I tell you I was like this, breathe yeah, because that's yeah, I thought it sounded good. Don't send it. I
Don't
almost
send
sent
it.
it.
Don't say it. No, it ain't worth your
I'm
time,
like,
y'all. So
it
what
ain't
we
worth
done
it.
with?
So,
I don't even think we've said what we done with. I got one.
um, go ahead.
I think a lot of us should be done with making plans that don't involve God. At the
Ooh,
end, that's just what it is. You can make
right,
plans, but go
right.
consult him first.
Yeah,
That's it, that's
and
all.
keep them in the midst of it as you're going through it.
Yeah.
Whether it's really turning out to be like working out in your favor, or if it's like, ooh,
Uh-oh.
I may not know what's to come next. Keep them in the
Right.
mix.
Keep them
Oh,
in the
that's a
mix
good
of
one.
things. Thanks, I'm here all week. And that was
Not
for
be here
free.
all week.
But yes,
I think
that's what I'm doing with.
I think I have to say the same. I think my biggest thing that I'm continuously working on is being able to allow people to be who they are and not having to compromise like my journey and my relationship in the way of which I want to carry myself to get my point across. Cuz like I
Mhm.
say, if I feel like you being ghetto and I look at you for 2 seconds, that's really me contemplating, and if I'm about to act just as crazy as you. And I
Don't do
think
it.
sometimes most of it is because we are looked at like we're the kids that have no problems, we are the kids that grew up in the suburbs, we're the kids that could you can't say nothing, you're happy, your life is perfect, and then talk to me like I don't have street smarts. Like, I'm not stupid, and I know you demeaning me, and I know you saying something fly, and before I know it, now I feel like I gotta go higher. I was not
And now
doing the
she
Michelle
gotta go
Obama thing.
repent. Now she gotta repent. 'Cause
Yes.
God just told you
So,
not to do that.
don't do it. So, my biggest thing I'm not done with it yet, but I've had pockets of moments where I'm like, "'Cause I coulda said," and Bree know, and sometimes I do tell Bree instead of the person, and he'd be like, "You was gonna say that?" And I'd be like, "Yeah, and I think that's pretty calm." And he'd
Well,
be like, "I'm
thank
glad you
God for
didn't say
Bree.
it."
Just tell
I
him.
know.
Don't
He keeps me mellow, so I can still get it out, but I'm learning that not everything needs to be said, and that's okay. There's power in silence sometimes.
Mhm.
So, yeah, I think I can be done with feeling like I need to let you know and let you have it.
You're done.
I just walk away.
Right. But she be looking for the next opportunity because the next person I ain't gonna let it slide.
No, 'cause I done let one slide. How many you want me to let slide, Lord? The slide
Fish
is
for the bar.
closed. This is a wave pool. 'Cause they is coming in waves today.
We supposed to be calm, cool, and collected.
Yes.
But
I need
yes,
to
so
go to
yeah.
yoga.
No, you don't. You need to go pray.
I do need to go pray.
Okay.
But yes, that is it. That is all. We got doctor's appointments, y'all. We can't be on here
We
talking to
do.
y'all all day. All
Right.
right. Love y'all.
We'll see y'all at the same time next week. Peace.
47 minutes. Perfect.
30, 47. Dun, 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 dun.